They taught you the katana was the soul of the samurai. You imagine clean duels and honorable cuts. That image is incomplete. The Bansen, Senshukai, a massive manual from 1676, reveals a hard truth. Ninja did not exist as a separate species of warrior. It was a job description. The samurai functioned as a massive corporate entity. Most worked in the front office, handling the public image of honor and protocol. But regions like Iga and Koka provided a black ops department specializing in espionage, arson, and infiltration. The Tokugawa shogunate absorbed these clans as official agents. They did the work the front office could not acknowledge. Today, we examine 7 weapons these agents used when swords failed or were forbidden. In feudal Japan, forbidden functioned as a sliding scale. Some weapons faced hard laws. The Tokugawa edicts of 1617, 1645, and 1668 imposed strict limits on blade length. Other weapons violated venue rules. You could not draw a blade in the shogun's hall without facing a death sentence. Finally, some tools broke the unwritten codes of Bushido, social taboos that could end your career. These are the tools history sanitized. The sodegarami is a long polearm featuring hundreds of backward-facing barbs. It was 1/3 of the torimono sandogu, the 3 tools of arresting used by the Edo police. Barbs snagged kimono sleeves and dug into flesh. But the real target was the shomage, the famous samurai top knot. Getting a barbed pole entangled in your scalp constituted ultimate humiliation. It allowed police to control the head without removing it. High-ranking samurai were worth more alive than dead. A clean sword kill happened quickly. This tool worked slowly and deliberately. Police functioned like a modern SWAT team. One officer used the sasumata to pin the target by the neck. A second used the tsukubo to block his path. The third used the sodegarami to snag the limbs. The sodegarami was the most barbed solution to arresting valuable prisoners without killing them. The manriki-gusari is a short weighted chain, usually 1 to 3 feet long, with heavy iron weights at both ends. It emerged because of the shogun's no-blood policy. In the palace, drawing a sword constituted a capital offense. The Bensenshukai records this specific loophole weapon. A warrior could strike wrists to disable a hand, strike the skull to cause a concussion, or wrap the chain around a sword blade and rip it away. It obeyed the letter of the law while making safe spaces deadly. The manriki-gusari could be concealed inside a sleeve or palm, turning a polite meeting into a lethal trap. When honor codes blocked the front door, warriors found a window to climb through. The kiseru is a heavy cast iron or brass smoking pipe. During the Edo period, strict sword restrictions meant low-ranking samurai and commoners often could not carry a blade. But no law could stop a man from carrying his tobacco. The kiseru provided social camouflage. Edo magistrate records frequently mention these fighting pipes, called kenka kiseru. Some were massive, functioning as iron maces, masquerading as smoking accessories. Street thugs known as kabukimono loved them. At close range, an iron pipe is a skull cracker. It allowed a warrior to parry a knife strike or break a wrist without ever drawing a weapon. Officials hated these pipes, yet could not ban them without banning tobacco. The weapon looked like a tool because it was a tool. It existed in the open, hiding in plain sight. The tessen is a folding fan with iron ribs, or sometimes a solid iron block shaped like a closed fan. In the shogun's court, you left your swords at the entrance, but kept your fan. Tessen jutsu manuals from the Yagyu Shinkaje Ryu school of the shogun's personal swordmasters taught that a fan was an iron shield in a silk glove. You could parry a surprise knife attack, break fingers, or strike pressure points. A solid iron fan was a heavy club that looked like a fashion statement. It allowed a samurai to be unarmed and dangerous at the same moment. The system demanded you appear peaceful. It never required you to be helpless. The kyoketsu-shoge is a nightmare of engineering, a blade with two sharp edges and a secondary hook attached to a long rope made of human or horsehair and ending in a heavy metal ring. It serves 4 distinct functions. You can stab with the blade, hook a rider off a horse, swing the metal ring to crush a target's temple, or use the rope to entangle limbs. Human hair rope was a calculated choice. Hair has high tensile strength, but it is also hygroscopic, and when soaked in blood or rain, it can stretch up to 50%. This made the weapon unpredictable, and it required a master to control. The kyoketsu-shoge never entered the official samurai curriculum. It was too messy for a duel of honor. It was the ultimate dirty tool for a dirty war. The odachi is a great sword, some measuring over 5 feet. These were the battlefield lawnmowers of the 12th century, designed for open fields and cavalry charges. A single sweep could take the legs out from under a horse. Then peace arrived. The Tokugawa government saw these monstrous blades as a threat to urban order. New laws in 1617 and 1645 strictly capped sword length at about 33 inches. Owners faced a painful choice. They could cut their family heirlooms down to size or hide them. Many chose a third path, donating their odachi to Shinto shrines as votive offerings. This was creative compliance. The samurai could keep his pride without breaking the law. This is why you only see these giants in museums and temples today. They were too big for the streets, so they were retired to the gods. The Metsubushi is known as the EGG of blindness. A warrior would empty a bird's egg, fill the shell with ground glass, pepper, and ash, then seal it with wax. When threatened, he would crush the egg or blow the powder through a bamboo tube. It was a pocket-sized earthquake for the senses. The Bansen Shukai even mentions recipes using toad venom. Traditionalists considered this the height of cowardice. A real warrior faced his enemy eye to eye. Yet samurai police carried these eggs as standard kit. The paradox is clear. The system banned visible weapons, but could not ban your breakfast. This tool was too dishonorable for a duel, but perfect for an arrest. The katana was only one tool in a massive system of controlled violence. Every law created a loophole. Every honor code created a shadow. These 7 weapons proved that history is rarely as clean as the legends. Samurai were not just swordsmen. They were engineers of survival. They used fans, pipes, and eggs to bypass the laws they were sworn to uphold. Subscribe for more history that refuses to be sanitized.